And welcome to Adulting with Donnie. No idea what episode number this is. Little background here, a little behind the scenes action that I'm still setting things up. I don't even know if I've actually set everything up correctly, so we're gonna find out together. I fucking hope so. I didn't do any testing beforehand. I didn't do anything. I literally came in the room, I don't know, maybe 90 seconds ago. But I'm trying to knock this thing out real quick, because should I be doing this right now? No, absolutely not. I should not, because I'm tired and it's late. It's almost 11 o'clock at night on a Friday, and I still got to work tomorrow, which drives me fucking insane. Jason Almy fucking pops right in. You know, for all that I say bad about Jason Almy, at least he pops right in on the comments. He's usually it's either him or my mate is usually the first comment on the show. So what's up, Jason? Jason actually sent me a beautiful little Christmas card that said we should do a cigar bar episode in January. I'm totally down with the cigar part of that. I'm down with the cigar bar part of that. Problem is that I essentially missed an episode in November. I was so on track with doing Friday night episodes, and again, this is a Friday night episode. I've been a little more than a week away, because I think I did my last episode last Wednesday. But I was so on track with Friday night episodes. I was doing so good at it. And then he and I did a cigar bar episode on a Friday. It was great, a lot of fun. But then he texts me he sends me a fucking Facebook or Instagram comment, something like that, the other night, saying that the audio is just so bad that we can't use it, which sucks, because we had a lot of fun. So I'm down with the cigar bar part, because I really, really enjoyed just sitting and chilling out with my buddy and having a cigar and having conversation back and forth, conversation that I genuinely think other people would enjoy. I think that applies with virtually everyone. Like when you listen to a Joe Rogan podcast episode, you are listening to two people, just 2, 3, however many people he has on his show at a time. It's usually just him and one other person. But you are listening to something that is a genuine conversation between two people, and somehow other people are entertained. Like one of the podcasts that I listen to frequently is a show called Two Bears, One Cave. It's Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer, two of my like top 10 maybe favorite comedians. Tom Segura is hands down my favorite. Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are way up there. Would I pay a substantial amount of money to go see Burt Kreischer? Not likely. Would I pay a reasonable amount? Maybe. If he was close enough. It all depends on location, too. Even Joe Rogan, like I would not pay a substantial amount of money to go see Joe Rogan. But Tom Segura, definitely. Hands down, 100%. I will go see him for sure. Anytime that he's on tour, I'm going to go see Tom Segura. If Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock came to the area and their ticket prices were reasonable, which is highly unlikely, if they were reasonable for me and reasonable for me, like what would I be willing to pay to see Chris Rock live right now in fucking Boston or Portland, Maine, something like that? He wouldn't go to Portland, Maine. Let's be real. But Boston, what would I be willing to pay to go see Chris Rock in Boston? I don't know, somewhere between $50 and $80. If Burt Kreischer came to Manchester, New Hampshire, what am I willing to go see him? Maybe 30 to 50. So anyways, my point is that Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer, they host a great podcast that I listen to on a weekly basis, and it's really just two guys that are friends sitting down having a conversation back and forth. And I very much enjoy listening to the two of them go back and forth, no matter what they're talking about. So it's usually something funny. It's sometimes a little serious, sometimes a little emotional. Very, very, very rarely a little emotional, but usually very funny. And that's how I feel when I sit down and chat with Jason fucking Almy. All right, we sit down at the cigar bar and we have a conversation back and forth. And it's a conversation that doesn't need to be recorded, doesn't need to be on video, doesn't need to be any of this shit. That is just how we can talk back and forth. And it's something that I think, in my mind, that other people would enjoy being the fly on the wall, listening to the two of us just shoot the shit back and forth. So anyways, that's my little rant about doing shows with Jason. So maybe not. So, I mean, he said we won't fuck with an audio next time. I learned, I don't know / don't care. If Jason wants to just go to the cigar bar and have a cigar with me and have a couple drinks and get out of the house for a minute, I'm down with that too. If we want to hook up microphones and it doesn't work, then I won't plan on that being my episode for the week. I'll just do a separate episode for the week. So, excuse me. Like I said, I'm hoping that this will be a shorter episode. Why? Not because is it because I'm gonna be responsible and go to bed a little early this week on a Friday night when I still have to fucking work tomorrow? Listen, I am excited for Christmas, all right? It is December 23rd, 2022, as I record this. I'm excited for Christmas. I am very much looking forward to Christmas Day. It's me and my mate's third Christmas together. I can't fucking wait. It's not even that like I got her some sort of extravagant gift or anything like that. It's nothing to do with the gift giving portion. I'm just excited to have our third Christmas together. If it bothers you that every episode for the last 2.5 years I talk about how much I love this girl and how excited I am to be with her and the fun things we do, if that bothers you, you can stop listening. You don't have to. No, literally no one has to listen to anything that I say. No one has to listen to this show. Nobody forced you to hit play. I went through so many fucking dark times, and I still have my moments of those dark times, but they are different. Things are just different now. Things are just different and better. So yeah, if it bothers you, I don't really know what to tell you other than to find someplace else. I don't know. But I do appreciate all of those that have stuck around all of this time. But no, I'm not trying to knock this out quickly tonight because I'm trying to do the responsible thing and go to bed at a reasonable time so I can wake up again. Oh, that's what I was saying was as excited as I am for Christmas, I am so excited for the Christmas season to be over. It's been, I think that with the, how do I put this? Christmas for the last few years has been a little rough with COVID. Obviously, Christmas 2020 was like the height of COVID. 2021, we were already out of the mask stage. There was, people basically took them off like early 2021, but even by Christmas, there's still plenty of people out there that just were like, quote unquote, being careful or whatever. I don't know. But this season, it seems like everybody has just fucking said, fuck it, we're done. I've gotten emails from my family that are like, we're doing fucking Christmas again this year, and I can't tell you how much I don't care. I'm not interested. I don't get it. You're doing Christmas this year, but Thanksgiving wasn't okay. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. And I know that there's plenty of spies from my family that love to listen to this show just so that they have something to gossip about. And I would tell those people, get a fucking life, okay? If that's how you spend your goddamn time, it's all coming out now. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble, but maybe I'm also not going to give a shit at the end of the day. Kathy said, she rocks. You two are the cutest. Thank you, Kathy. I agree. We are super cute. Look, I got a hard time giving a fuck if you're a member of my family and you're upset about the way that I talk. Understand that it's not just the words that are coming out of my mouth. These are the thoughts that I have in my head. So the reality is, no matter what, I'm going to feel this way. All right? So if it bothers you that I feel this way and then I vocalize those feelings, that's not a problem for me. Okay? If I think that if all of us had to vocalize, well, I guess I don't have to do this, but if all of us vocalized our true feelings to each other, the world would be a very different place, and gun crime would be so much worse than it really is. So, I'm sorry, quote unquote, I guess. Hashtag not sorry. I don't know. This is just how I feel. Sometimes I just think that a lot of things are bullshit. I think that a lot of people just pretend to be happy or pretend to like a person or whatever, and I'm kind of over it. I'm in what I would call the second half of my life, which I hope it's not the actual second half. I hope I'm coming up on the end of the first half. But I turned 40 earlier this year. They call that over the hill. Once upon a time, they called that over the hill. I don't even know if it applies anymore because, when back then, back in the 80s or whatever, when they called it over the hill, they called it over the hill because you were over 40 and you were halfway through your life because they only expected you to live to 80. People live to 90, 100, 110 years old all the time now, okay? I remember, and I've mentioned on this 1,000 times, I remember hearing not long ago, a year or two ago, that the first person to live to be 1,000 years old, if medicine, technology, and science continue on the path that they're currently on, the first person to live to be 1,000 years old is probably already among us. Okay, they are probably 2, 3, 4 years old right now, and they are going to live to be 1,000, which is an absurd number. Okay, first of all, scientifically, unless things change, which that path is not on its course yet, unless things change, every male is going to develop prostate cancer by the time they're 100 years old. Okay, so what the first? Well, first of all, the first person to live to be 1,000 is probably a female, so we can narrow that list by 50%. But even still, like, what happens to men after, what happens to, as science, technology, and medicine continue on this path of improvisation? Improvisation. Is that the right word? I don't even know if that's the right word. If all these things continue on this path of getting better, what happens to men after 100? Let's say in 2080, the year 2080, there is a 110-year-old man. Has science and technology and medicine progressed to the point that cancer is not a thing anymore? That would be great. I mean, wouldn't that be great? I mean, that's something that we've been trying to solve for 30, 40, 50 years now. That would be great. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. I really wouldn't. After what I've watched a handful of shows and movies lately that talk a lot about, and podcasts, listen to a bunch of podcasts that talk about, basically us transferring our consciousness to what would essentially be a memory disk. And we're all living in some sort of simulation. It really would not surprise me if we live in a matrix. I don't know that I necessarily believe that that's happening right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if something similar to that is what is the future. Maybe we're not being controlled by robots or being harvested by robots, but it really wouldn't surprise me if in some way, like, there was some Bruce Willis movie called like The Sim or something like that. It was a movie where basically life was a video game, The Sims. And then also the movie Gamer with not Russell Crowe. My guy, what the fuck is his name? Now I can't think of it. Gerard Butler, gamer, where you are transferring your consciousness to another live person, I think is how that movie worked. It wasn't a good movie. Not one of his best. Certainly not one that I actually bought the movie on Amazon. Like, I had already seen it a few times. I bought it on Amazon because I was like, I'm looking for another Gerard Butler movie tonight. I bought it on Amazon, watched it, and then immediately went on Amazon to customer service, and I was like, yeah, this movie sucked. Can I please get my money back? And you can take that out of my library, and I don't need it there anymore. Anyways, should I get to the show? I'm only 15 minutes into this. Fuck. I already talked about, well, I guess I kind of talked about Christmas being exhausting. I'm burnt out on Christmas. I'm super looking forward to Christmas Day. I'm just as much looking forward to tomorrow night, anytime after 4 p.m., to just chill out at home with my girlfriend. All right? That's what I'm looking forward to, and I am excited about that. But everything leading up to this point, I'm over it. I'm so over the shopping. As excited as I was for any parties that we went to, I'm over I'm over the parties. I'm over that stuff. I am overworking. Like, I'm totally overworking. The waking up early, the working late. Today was my day off, and I went into work. I woke up at 5:30 this morning to go to work. And I said, I'm going to lay on the couch for 10 minutes. And I got on the couch and I set an alarm for 10 minutes in the future. And that alarm went off. And then I set another alarm for 10 minutes later. And another, and another, and another. And I just kept sleeping on the couch until 7:35 this morning, when I said, I'm going to get up in 10 minutes. But I'm not going to set an alarm this time, which was a really smart thing to do. And at 8:30, my girlfriend yelled down the stairs, hey, are you going to go to work? And I was supposed to punch in no later than 8 o'clock. 6 o'clock is an option that I have taken advantage of a lot over the last 8 weeks. But 8 o'clock is not an option. You're supposed to be in to work by 8. And at 8:30, she's yelling down the stairs, are you going to go to work today? And then I get to work, and they ask me to do extra tonight, so I end up working, 9.5, 10 hours on my day off. And again, tomorrow is supposed to also be my day off, but I'm going to work for another 9 or 10 hours, and I'm just over it. I'm burnt the fuck out. This Christmas season has been more stressful than other Christmas seasons the last few years. It's been a little difficult because if I think back to anything leading up from 2014, Christmas 2014 up to Christmas 2019, I was all about it. I was like, I'll work all the hours, 12, 13, 14. There was a few 16, 17-hour days in there. There was 1 week in 2017 or 2018 where I worked 81 hours in 1 week. Okay, those are 16-hour days. I'm just over it completely, right? But 2020, 2021, little more lax. Definitely last year, because rather than go in early at 6 a.m., I was still going in at 8 a.m. because I wanted to work out. I wanted to go to the gym. So I took the hit on the 2 hours of overtime. I went in at 8 instead of 6. This year I decided I'm going to start going into 6 and get that extra money. But unfortunately, it's affecting my gym schedule too. Like I've made it to the gym every week, just I'm not getting the workouts that I want to. So that'll all change after the new year. I'll have to deal with a month of, seeing. So, I remember last year going back to the gym after the new year and seeing new faces and thinking, like, boy, I really hope these people follow through. Like, all these new faces that I'm seeing like really big guys way out of shape on the treadmill. They made this fucking commitment. They're going to fucking do it. And then never saw them again after the first 3 or 4 weeks, which is really too bad. Like look, if you're the type of person who's listening to this show right now and is saying, the new year, fucking new me, whatever, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to do it. I'm going to finally fucking commit. I'm going to do it. Here's my suggestion. First of all, pick a fucking reasonable time. All right. If you can't fucking wake up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, you just can't get your ass out of bed. Don't start there. All right. I hate waking up that early. I fucking hate it. I hate waking up that early to go to the gym. But I can tell you that I don't hate it as much as I hate getting out of work thinking like, all right, I'm done working for the day. Now it's time to chill out. But I still got to go to the gym. And the gym's going to take me 2 hours, right? And that 2 hours isn't gym time. That 2 hours is from the time I walk in the door to the time I walk out. And part of that walking out is also I shower. After I do my little gym session, I take a shower. And that takes up 30, 45 minutes. So every minute is accountable. When it comes to time, to me, every minute of your day is accountable. I'm very strict on time, right? So, for instance, last week, me and Ro, we have a party to go to, and or no, it wasn't a party. I'm sorry, it wasn't a party, and it wasn't last week. It was earlier this week. We went to a play. We went to go see A Christmas Carol. It was fucking awesome. We went to go see it right here in Portsmouth at a super small little play, fucking whatever you call it, place. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Not something I ever would have picked. And mid-show, I even told Ro, thank you so much for doing this. I never would have picked this. This is not something that I would look at and be like, we should go to that. We went to go see a play. We went to go see A Christmas Carol. I got out of work at 4:45. The play, doors open at 6:30. This is an hour and 45 minutes away from now. I texted her and I said, I'm going to go home and take a record-breaking shower. And she replies back, and I'm picking her up at 6:15. So we've now cut an hour and a half, or an hour and 45 minutes down to an hour and a half. I have to pick her up in an hour and a half. Pick her up. I'm driving home from work. She texts me back and she says, you have over an hour. All right. This is like almost a joke to her. For me, every minute is accountable. I already know it's going to take me 15 minutes to get home. Now we're down to an hour and 15 minutes. It's also going to take me 15 minutes to drive from home to her work to pick her up. Now we're down to an hour. I also have to feed the cats. That typically takes about 8 minutes. I'm down to 52. All right. Shower portion alone will take about 15 to 20 minutes. Now we're down to we're down to fucking 32 minutes left of my night. Let's not forget actually getting undressed, because I can't just jump in the shower fully clothed. We've now deducted another 3 minutes. Getting dressed, all right, that's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. All right, now you might be thinking in your head, like, what do you mean 10 to 15 minutes to get dressed? Well, the next time that you get dressed to go someplace, and you have to dress nice, all right, whether you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't fucking matter. I want you to go ahead, set a stopwatch at the start of the time that it takes you to get dressed. And don't be fucking trying to speed race through this thing. Just get dressed like you would. You got to pick out your socks, pick out your the pants that you're going to wear, pick out your shirt, maybe an undershirt, pick out a belt, put all this stuff on. Don't forget to transfer whatever you may need from your regular day dress, whether that's a knife or a wallet or a phone clip, whatever you need to do, okay? Transfer all this stuff over. I have talked to many a guy about this kind of thing that goes through my head, and they're all like, oh, you sound like a fucking woman. Well, fuck you, because you're wrong, all right? This is the kind of things that go through my head. Every minute is accountable. So, getting back to the gym time thing, if the new year comes along and you're like, hey, I'm going to fucking start going to the gym. Well, great. If you're not a fucking morning person and you just can't commit to getting up early, then I would say start at night. Start going at night. Like, don't start by saying, I'm going to wake up at 4 in the morning and I'm going to spend 2 hours in the gym a day and add another hour to shower and whatever else afterwards. I would say just start going at night. Start going at night. If you start going at night and you're like, I'm going, and commit realistically, say, I'm going to go and every night I'm going to do 30 minutes on a treadmill. That's it, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if I'm running or walking. Doesn't matter incline or no incline. Just, I'm going to do 30 minutes. 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes at a 20 minute mile pace. You're still getting in 1.5 miles of walking. So that's what I would say. That would be my suggestion. So I don't even remember now how all that started because it was 10 fucking minutes ago. Bill Burr. Fucking Bill Burr. I'm scrolling through Instagram last night through Reels, and something of his Reels pops up. It was from not long ago. It was pre-COVID, but it wasn't his first album. I know his first album, he said something about like, oh, we need a plague. He's talking about, some guy scratching his back on a beam in an airport, and another woman like, wiping her face with a McDonald's bag or something like that. That was way back in like 2008, I think, 2007, 8, 9, something like that. And then there's another thing from somewhere pre-COVID where he's talking about like, 85% of people need to go, something like that. Then comes COVID, and he is completely changed gears on this. And he's completely like, everyone needs to be wearing a mask. Everyone needs to get the vaccine. He completely changed. It was really disappointing. I maybe earlier, it might have been earlier this year, I went back to his podcast once because I was like, all right, maybe I can listen to it. In the first 5 minutes of this podcast of his, he brings up something about going to see a movie with his kid. I think it was with his wife and kid, but at least his kid. He went to go see like Puss in Boots or something like that. Go to see a movie, and he's talking about how they walked out of the theater and there's a guy without a mask on. And he talks shit about the guy and this is earlier this year. This isn't fucking at the beginning of COVID. This is earlier this year. And it's not even like January of this year. It's like March or April or May, something like that. And he says, oh, you always see these guys, these guys without the mask. It's like they want to get it. They just want to get the virus or whatever. I immediately shut it off. Didn't listen to the rest of it. I was just immediately annoyed. I haven't listened to it since. I probably will never listen to another one of his specials. Not because I don't think he's a funny comedian. I think that when he goes on certain rants about certain things, he's great. His new special, the highlight that they put on Netflix for it was something about like every couple has the person that washes the dishes and the person that wants to let them soak, and how the person that lets them soak is really just waiting for the other person to wash the dishes. Not the case in our household. We do our dishes right away. Typically, I do them, but it is because I enjoy it. It's my time to put my head, if we cook a big dinner, like lots of people have seen the big dinners that we cook. I mean, we post pictures on the interwebs all the time about the big dinners that we cook. If we cook a big dinner together, I do the dishes. Why do I do the dishes? I want my girlfriend to get started with her shower. I don't want her fucking waiting an hour. I don't want her doing the dishes for 40 minutes or something like that, and then she's going to go take a shower. I want her to fucking go have her little me time in her shower, and I get my me time by doing the dishes, putting my headphones on, listening to a podcast. Sometimes I put on some motivational music to get me pumped up for the gym the next day. Sometimes I put on some sort of country song that I can sing along to. Whatever, it's my time. I can put on my stuff and I can listen on my time. But anyways, that was my little thing about Bill Burr. It's just too bad. And it's strange. I actually think that it's less him. I think it's more his wife. I think that his wife is probably very strongly, get vaccinated, wear a mask, social distance. She was probably all about that shit. She's always kind of come off that way anyways. So I assume it was probably a lot more her in his ear than it was him. So there's that. And another celebrity, quasi-celebrity. I mean, Bill Burr's a quasi-celebrity as far as I'm concerned. He's mostly a comedian. He's a quasi-celebrity. But another one that I've been meaning to mention for a year or more. I keep, thinking this in my head and then forgetting to bring it up. Liam Neeson. Harry Cummings sent me a bunch of Christmas trees. Liam Neeson. I'm convinced Liam Neeson played in a little movie called Taken way back in like 2005, something like that. The movie did really well. He plays this CIA agent who, is pissed off at the world or whatever. His daughter gets taken, and that's kind of the premise of the movie. And then they made 3 more of those movies, and that should have been the end of that. Except I think that Liam Neeson fell in love with that character, and every movie that he has made ever since then. Now for spell check, then on to my other cases. Oh, my poor girlfriend. It's 11:10 on a Friday night. My poor girlfriend is still at work. Let me finish Liam Neeson, and then I might, if I remember, talk about that a little bit. Liam Neeson, he fell in love with that character, and he has continued to do that character for every fucking movie for the last 17 years. That's the only movie that he does is basically some form of the movie Taken. If you go on Amazon right now, on Amazon Prime, and you search the name Liam Neeson, you are going to come up with 100 movies that this, the little subtext, what is this movie about? It's going to say something about, a former hitman or a retired CIA agent or, a former, bank robber, some sort of, used to be special forces. Some bullshit like that is going to pop up on every fucking one of his movies. It blows my mind. Like, why do they keep making the same? I guess they keep making the same movie because the first 3 did so well, but the rest have not done well. The rest have not done as good. There's a good chance that you haven't heard about a lot of them. So that's my Liam Neeson thing. I have 3 more topics, and I think that they'll be fairly quick, which is good because it's not that I want to be responsible and get off this show right now. It's that I want to go back to watching TV, but I felt an obligation to get one of these done on a Friday night, and yeah, I don't, and it's almost Christmas, and I'm definitely not going to get one done tomorrow night. I'm definitely not getting one done on Sunday night. So this is what you get. We went to my girlfriend's Christmas party a couple nights ago. We had a lot of fun. Before, during and after, because there was like an after party at a different bar. But we go to her Christmas party, her work Christmas party. Had a lot of fun at it. And last year there was dancing. This year, not quite so much. But leading up to going to this Christmas party, I knew there would be dancing. Or at least I thought there would be. I thought there would be dancing based on last year's party. So I committed to myself back in like June. I am going to start watching some YouTube videos on how to dance so that I can go to this party that night and blow everyone's mind. I wanted people to be like, holy shit, look at Donnie. He can fucking really dance. It's crazy. No. Here's what happened. I went on YouTube. I follow a handful, maybe a little more. I follow probably a couple dozen dancers on Instagram and maybe another handful on Facebook. I follow these people, and they're incredible. But I am convinced that dancing is black magic, okay? There are some people that can do it really good. My girlfriend's one of them. Some people can do it really, really good. I am not one of them. I watch these videos. There was one video, it's 20 minutes long, all right? Now, it's not 20 minutes of just dancing. It's probably like 3 or 4 minutes, then a little break. The little Russian girl fucking giving you direction, takes a little break and tells you fucking what you're doing or what you're going to do next or whatever. And then it's another 3 or 4 minutes. And the whole video is 20 minutes long. I watched this fucking video over and over and over for 2 fucking hours. Do you know what I came away with? Not being able to dance. That's what I came away with. I watch these videos and I'm like, my first thought when I see these videos, one of the guys that I follow, he's awesome. He's really, really good. His Instagram handle is like Shafar, Shafar, Shafar_SJC, because the crew that he dances with is Street Justice Crew. So if you search Street Justice Crew on Instagram, you'll find all sorts of videos. But his name is Shafar. I watch him. Every time that I watch him, I'm like, I could do most of that, because he usually adds in like a flip. You know, he'll do like a back flip or a front flip or a kick flip or whatever. He'll do a flip of some sort. And I watch him and I'm like, everything minus the flip part I can do. Like, I can just watch this video over and over. I can mimic the moves as it goes, and I'll be able to do exactly what he's doing. And that, my friends, is wrong, okay? Because there is some sort of dark magic, okay? These people, they are sorcerers of some sort. They've sold their soul to the devil. I don't know what they've done, but some of these people dancing on the internet they're not real humans, okay? These are the aliens for sure. These are the lizard people. I don't know what they are, but they're not real people. I'm convinced of it. It's impossible what they're doing. What they're doing is fucking insane. So, and let's see here. I just mentioned going to my girlfriend's Christmas party last weekend. So strategically, I've had my hair cut like 4 times in the last 2 years. I shaved my head way back in May or June of 2019. Shaved it with a razor, and now if my hair were straight, like if I were to actually straighten my hair, I can reach my arm back and touch my hair. Touch the bottom of it, touch the ends, if you will, of my hair. It's probably a little bit higher than mid back on me. There's a whole story of why I did that, and why I started growing my hair out, and why I haven't cut it since. But that'll have to be for another day. But I've had, in the last 3 or 4 years, I've only had like two or three haircuts, maybe a little more than that, maybe like 4 or 5 haircuts. I've had like 4 or 5 haircuts in that time. And so I strategically scheduled a haircut for the night of her work party. And the reason I scheduled it, because my hairdresser, the girl that I go to the last 4 or 5 times that I've gone to get my haircut, way back when I broke my ankle earlier this year, one day I'm sitting on the couch, because that's literally all I could do for 2 months was lay on the couch. One day I'm sitting on the couch, and my girlfriend, my mate, my beautiful Ro, climbs up on the couch, and she sat on the arm of the couch behind me. And she starts fucking with my hair. I mean, I can feel her fucking with my hair. I don't really know what she's doing, but I can feel her fucking with my hair. But I also don't care. Like, I mean, I don't care what she does. I mean, she's never, ever, ever going to send me out of this house looking ridiculous. So whatever she's doing, I'm sure it's fine. So when she's done, I can feel the top of my head. And I was like, "What'd you do?" And she says, "I put a braid in your hair." That's literally all she said. "I put a braid in your hair." And then I had her take a picture of it for me, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't give a single fuck if any guy ever were to be like, "Oh, you got a girl thing in your hair." Fuck you in your face. You're jealous. I loved it. I absolutely fell in love with it. My only disappointment was that, like, I hadn't, at that point, I mean, because my ankle was broken, I couldn't get off the couch. I probably hadn't showered in days. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I probably hadn't showered in days. My hair was kind of wild because it curls in the worst fucking way, especially when I haven't showered. So it didn't look as good as it could have. But I still really loved it. And so my hairdresser that I go to, every time I go see her, hairstylist, maybe that's a better way to put that. My hairstylist that I go to, every time I go see her, I have her put a reverse French braid in. So I strategically scheduled an appointment with her Saturday afternoon so that she could put a inverted French braid in my hair before we go to this party. And we went out that night, and I got so many compliments. I couldn't believe it. I was so psyched too. There were a handful of her coworkers that came up and were like, "Dude, I love your braid. I wish I could do that. I wish that I had hair for I wish I had that kind of hair to do that kind of thing." Because these are all police officers. They can't grow their hair out as long as I have. And then the last two comments at the end of the night were two complete strangers, just happened to be leaving the bar we were in. And this guy comes walking up to me, very Post Malone looking guy. He kind of looked like Post Malone minus the face tattoos. He came walking up to me, and he goes, "Hey man," he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, I just gotta tell you, me and my twin brother over here, we love your fucking braid. It looks great." And he said something. I don't know. I may have had a few drinks, but I think he said we're both Nordic and we love the Viking look, and the braid looks fucking awesome. We love it. And I turned to my girlfriend, who's a couple feet away from me at the time, and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And so he says the same thing to them, or I'm sorry, they say the same thing to her, and she grabs him and says, "Come here, you got to take a look at this." And she brings him to the window where they can see my license plate. My license plate says Viking on it. So it was just cool. It was very cool. Very, very nice to have that validation of like, yes, I had the fucking French braid done, which is, historically pre-2010 might be a girl thing, especially a little girl thing. But you know what? I'm bringing it back. And thanks to my girlfriend for showing me that not only, certainly not something I ever thought could be done with my hair. I've been fucking tying my hair in ponytails for 2 years. So, all right. The last thing that I had on my list tonight is my new phone. Big fan of it so far. I bought a nice case for it. Unlike my last phone, I bought a $10 case for it. This time I spent $30. But I spent $30 because I got an OtterBox. Anyone who knows anything about phone cases knows that OtterBox is kind of the top of the line, what you want. Viking fanboys. And my girlfriend, my mate, said, Viking fanboys, they do exist. And she threw a heart in there. Yeah, I love you, mate. OtterBox, for those of you, virtually everyone knows that, especially if you got an iPhone or some sort of high-end Samsung or maybe a Motorola. I don't know what OtterBox is doing these days. But OtterBox is basically the top-of-the-line phone case. And typically $65 for this case, but because I'm a mailman, I get half off at AT&T. And this case was $65, and that divided by 2 is $32.50. So spent $32 on the phone case. I have the screen protector downstairs waiting for my mate to help me put it on. I tried the other day and failed big time. So then I went back to Walmart and exchanged that for a new one. Not so good, but she's going to help me put it on correctly. I like the phone so far. I don't have any sort of buyer's remorse of getting it. I just feel like so far I'm not getting as much use out of it as I could, especially the camera, which is why I got it in the first place. I got it in the first place for the camera. And you can see on the back here, I'm holding it in my hand. If you're on the video, you can see how many fucking cameras this thing has. It has all the cameras. Okay. I want to be able to get as much out of this as humanly possible. I like taking video. I wish that it wasn't the problem of the director is that the director is almost always going to be behind the camera. So virtually, so what that means, I don't mind being behind the camera. I just wish I had more shit to take video of. I guess I'll take more videos of my cats, maybe our cats. But when it comes to like snowmobiling or something like that, I don't know. I'm probably going to end up having to just randomly be like, hey man, can I take a video of you snowmobiling? I don't know. I want to get a video of me going 111 miles an hour down the fucking snowmobile trail this season. So I'll have to figure that out. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to leave my phone sitting by itself for a couple minutes on a tripod while I take off down a trail and then come flying back at the phone. I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out. But either way, I'm satisfied with the phone so far. I want to get as much out of it as humanly possible and also pay it off as fast as humanly possible. And that, my friends, is going to do it. I did it in 45 minutes, which took me 15 minutes longer than I planned. 46 minutes now. Took me longer than I planned. I really wanted to get it done quicker. You would think I'm going to do the responsible thing and go to bed. I'm not. I'm probably going to go back downstairs and watch The Recruit on Netflix for another hour and then go to bed. I hope you all have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you all stay safe. Have fun with your families. I have my family, my mate, our kiddos. I'm excited for all of us to wake up on Christmas Day, sleep in, have at least, I have Sunday and Monday off, so having 2 days off is going to be great. Some Bloody Marys. We have a really great food list that we're going to do. Some pot roast, some other food, seafood chowder. I did a bunch of cooking last night, so it's tons of beers. I should probably make a swing by the liquor store tomorrow for some more bourbon. But outside of that, we are good to go. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you all for listening tonight, and those of you that have all year, thank you for listening all year long to whatever nonsense I spewed out. So, all right, that's it. Good night, everyone. Bye.